What's going on, guys? It's Weather with Jonathan here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the potential for a massive derecho today and a potentially massive severe weather outbreak next week. I'm going to be talking about all of this in your forecast. So, starting off with our active weather, you can see across the U.S., we have those heavy snow squalls for portions of New Mexico and Colorado. You can see we do have some snow squall warnings currently in effect for portions of west to New Mexico to northwestern New Mexico. And today, there's a lot to talk about, not just in terms of snowfall. We need to talk about the severe weather. So, um, the reason I said a possible derecho in the title is because what's gonna happen is gonna shock you, because you guys, we could end up seeing a potential high risk event today. This is our risk today. We have a moderate risk in place for extreme northeastern Texas / northern Texas, and it extends from southwestern Oklahoma to northeastern Oklahoma. This is going to be a very packed event, and if you guys didn't know, the Storm Prediction Center, actually, if you can see right now, it says a derecho is forecast. You guys, that means we could see a potential derecho today. So this is going to be a very bad event, and everyone needs to watch out. I'll show the reflectivity in just a minute. So you can see our wind speeds, they really start picking up in New Mexico, and this is where they get very crazy. So you see that cold front sweep through, right? Well, we have the moderate risk because of the wind, and look at the wind. And it can be about 60 to 80 miles an hour, and the Storm Prediction Center said gusts will be 80 to 110 miles per hour, and we could actually see a very significant, first of all, derecho and tornado outbreak. So our hail outlook just got upgraded to a SIG for hail, so we could be seeing large hail up to 2 inches in diameter for northwestern Texas / northern Texas / the Panhandle and southwestern Oklahoma. Now, the tornado outlook, it did extend a little bit more into central Oklahoma. We have a SIG severe with a 10% chance. And Vince Walty, you gotta watch out, because we actually got a day one wind outlook of 45% extending from southwestern Oklahoma to northeastern Oklahoma. And Vince Walty is in the direct heart of every single risk: the tornado, the hail, the wind. So this guy needs to prepare. So can see we do, yes, definitely have that moderate risk. Tomorrow, we have a slight risk. This is not updated, but now the slight risk goes into portions of northern Indiana and almost goes into places like Chicago and Illinois, and it goes into northwestern Ohio. But I'm sorry this didn't update, but we have a more of just a potential for wind for this. We do have a 2% chance of seeing a tornado, and this is our main problem, is wind with these storms. But you guys, you guys probably do not know this unless you have watched this video this far in. But for some reason, now we've got a very large enhanced risk for portions of western Alabama, central Mississippi, southern Arkansas, central northern Louisiana, and eastern Texas. And this is actually driven by the potential for tornadoes and wind. So then, as we pull it out into day 6 or the 4th of March, you can see we have that slight risk for portions of south, central, and northern Georgia, eastern Alabama, southeastern Tennessee, southwestern and southern North Carolina, and central to northwestern South Carolina. Now, this is also driven by the same thing: tornadoes and wind. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a good amount of hail, but that's not really what we're focusing on for that. So for today, this is what I'm very concerned about, you guys. It's the wind. And that's why I said in the title we could have a possible derecho, and I'm going to be going live And actually, I'm going to be going live around the perfect time. I'll be going live from 4 o'clock to 5:45, and I'll be going live from 6:30 to 8. And 6:30 to 8, you guys have got to join, because that is when the most significant part is. If you watch the weather briefing, the weekly weather briefing from the Storm Prediction Center, so you can see that massive squall line just develops. And this is right when I start my first live stream. Then it goes, and then if I pull this out to about 6 p.m., this is when I have to get off my live stream. And then I get back on about a half an hour later. And then this is the most significant time for wind, because you can see we have a lot of that open air for a lot of moisture to surge into it and give it fuel, especially with the Cape, even though we're lacking Cape. And then this squall line is actually going to not fizzle out until we at least reach St. Louis. So this is why they set a potential for a derecho. And this is a crazy event. I'll show you what the NAM models are showing on Weatherbell. That was Tropical Tidbits. So you can see the storms fire up. And then I'll be live when we have the biggest potential for tornadoes. And it's right in southwestern Oklahoma, right around that time. And that model run. Then you can see I'll be right back. And once I pull this out to about 8 p.m., I'll stop live streaming. But it does look like a potential tornado outbreak and derecho. So this is a really bad event, and I know the wind is going to be very bad for you guys. So if you can see, we have some pretty fair dew points. You can see the dew points are mainly about 60 degrees in Oklahoma, so that's enough to cause a squall line. So once that moves out of the way for our storm on this 3rd/2nd of March, can see is some very rich moisture comes out of the Gulf of Mexico. We could be seeing dew points up to possibly the low 70s, and this is some rich moisture. So yeah, once that moves out of the way, it'll probably, this is why I said it'll probably cause tornadoes and wind. But we actually have a moderate amount of Cape. You can see Cape values up to some pretty high values, locally up to about 2,500 joules in some areas. That's very strong. Once that moves out of the way, it'll be less strong. That's why that severe weather potential dies out, but then it comes back the next day because we have higher Cape and higher dew points. Once that moves out, we actually don't really have that high potential for any really big storms until about the 10th. But that moisture does surge up, and do you see that this cold blast come down? And guys, I really got some relief for you in the West Coast, because it's looking like some of that cold air is trying to shift more to the east. And that's also something that we have to watch out, because that means we could have a lot colder temperatures in the east, and we could have more tornado outbreaks and derechos like this in the plains. So you can see it's actually going to start getting warmer for you guys on the West Coast, and this is probably a good relief for you guys. You can see our temperature anomaly. It's still very below average in the West Coast. But you can see it's starting to get more above average, and it's starting to get colder than average in the East Coast. Now, guess what, you guys? Cold temperatures mean snow. And this is all the way through the 14th of March. Chicago, you guys could get a lot of snow. I think the Dakotas will receive a lot of snow. Same for the Northeast. I think you guys could see a lot of snow, and especially for the Sierras and the Cascades. And Portland, man, you guys will not get a break. You guys could be seeing another, luckily, up to about half a foot of snow until about March 14th. So I'll just put this into motion right here, and you guys will see a lot of snow in the Sierras. And I'll also show you our precipitation after this, and then I will end the video. So you can see it really starts accumulating for cities like Portland, Salem, Eugene, Seattle, Olympic, Washington, all kinds of cities, Chicago, Pierre, South Dakota. So, yeah. Also, my webcam does not work, but now I can share my screen on live streams. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So, I'll go over all the rainfall for just a minute, and then I will end the video. As you can see, we have some very heavy rainfall in the Sierras, and it's just been continuing to show this for the West Coast. I don't really think it's going to be too much as we get into March because, yes, there will be a lot of storms, but the only uncertainty about this is that each day the models are either showing a lot of rain or it's showing a lot less rain. But this rain in the East Coast and the South, that probably will happen. So you guys also definitely got to prepare for a wet season. So that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I didn't upload my second video. I did download it, but I completely forgot to upload it. So I apologize about that. And remember, check out my YouTube channel at 4 o'clock p.m. Western Time and 6:30 p.m. Western Time. I will be live at those times, and I'll be going live from 4 p.m. Western Time to 5:45 p.m. Western Time, and then I'll be going live from 6:30 p.m. Western Time to 8 p.m. Western Time. I hope you guys enjoy my videos. Consider sharing them with your family and friends. Consider subscribing and liking. Thank you for all the support. I hope you enjoyed this video.